How are you, friends? I hope you are enjoying yourselves at this moment and are able to watch today's live session. A very warm welcome to all of you to today's live. Today, on this very beautiful and special occasion, we will share some unique and some common, special, and some common discussions about life with each other. We will certainly do this together, my dear friends. To every single one of you who is currently a part of today's wonderful live session at this very moment, I want to say thank you very much indeed for being here today and for generously giving your incredibly valuable time to join us. Along with that, I would also like to extend a very big and heartfelt thank you to all of the dedicated members who are joining today's live session from all around the world, as we truly appreciate your continued support and active participation in everything we do here. If you are currently able to stay with us, or if you are able to hear my voice clearly, if you find that you can do both of these things quite comfortably, then we will be able to make today's live session together even more pleasant and truly wonderful for everyone. My dear friends, right at this very moment, I am located in a small, quiet town in the country of Belgium, and I have actually spent almost 10 whole years living right here in this place. This is, I have spent almost 10 years here. The place you are seeing, about 3 years ago, I used to live here. Whatever place you are seeing and the surrounding area as well, I have spent almost 10 years in this place. And before coming to you, the journey of leaving here without any hesitation has given me the opportunity to connect, and I have gained a lot of experience. It has been a journey full of many ups and downs in life, in which all of us have seen and heard a lot, have experienced a lot. But for all of that, today I am thankful that God in some way gave such opportunities that we were able to reach this point in life. Friends, we were finally able to reach this point together. My dear friends, in today's fast-paced life, especially for the young children who are currently facing the immense pressure of upcoming exams, we will definitely take the time to talk about that in great detail. But at the very same time, we will also discuss several other things that are incredibly important in your regular daily life experiences. Certain things that you might feel you want to improve upon, some specific habits that you want to change, and various aspects of your journey that you are looking to refine as you move forward every single day. Want to give. So before starting anything, I want to share a small personal experience with you. Just a few days ago, I was reading a short article, and in that article, there was a very beautiful point made that life should be meaningful. So I was quite surprised. What is the difference between the two? A long life and a meaningful life. It should be a meaningful life. The article beautifully illustrated these things. Many times we live a long life of 100 years, but in that life, we are always chasing after certain things, certain tasks, certain needs, or the dreams we have decorated in our lives. We decorate our lives with dreams. We think about things, we have ideas, we consider achieving something, and in the pursuit of those things, we stop truly living our lives. What does it really mean to truly live and be fully present for just a few precious moments with the people we are currently sitting with in this shared space? When we look at the depth of our human connections, we must ask ourselves how often we are actually there. In that insightful article I read recently, there was a very beautiful and profound point made by the author, suggesting that if we could only find a way to set aside our many distractions and focus entirely on the person right in front of us, if in the busy course of our daily lives we allow ourselves to completely forget the profound impact and the enduring legacy of such remarkable lives, those who have shaped our world and inspired our very souls, then we risk losing the very essence of our shared humanity and the vital lessons that history has so carefully preserved for us to learn from today. If you can appreciate what you are doing, wherever you are, whatever place you are at, if you can live those moments with gratitude to God, with happiness and joy, then friends, let's live today's life with this one small moment, with this very beautiful. Everyone joining us right now, thank you very much. A very warm welcome to you all, friends. If you have any questions or queries in between, please do write to me from afar. I truly and deeply enjoy it when you take the time to share such thoughtful questions with me here. If there is anything at all that I can give you in response, or if I can tell you something meaningful, then I really want to share a truly beautiful thing with you today. Just a little while ago, I was looking at my mobile phone. You can do some work. When the weather forecast says it's going to rain heavily all day long, and if the sun simply refuses to come out from behind the clouds, or if it's just incredibly cold outside, well, you really can't find much to do outdoors, and you still have all this work that needs to get done regardless of the conditions. And when it's freezing like this, with so little natural sunlight to brighten the mood, and you're faced with specific types of tasks that just keep piling up, then you can see exactly why I've finally sat down and started the process of completing all these bills, my friends. So that I can share this information with you, I was checking today's local temperature earlier, and what I saw was so interesting that I thought I should definitely show you. Today's current temperature is exactly 17 degrees, and what you see right here is a small icon, and it says air quality or AQI. Or the AQI reading here is the current air quality index, or AQI, right here in this location is 61, which represents the standard air quality for this entire country. Interestingly, the specific air quality index in this immediate area is recorded at only 6, yet they are still officially labeling this as poor quality. According to their local standards, an air quality index of just 6 is considered quite bad for the environment, and they warn that it can potentially affect our long-term health. Now, I want you to take a moment to imagine the situation in India, specifically in a massive crowded city like Delhi. At this very moment, the AQI there is, in a city like Delhi at this time, the AQI is 600. In our Lucknow at this time, the AQI is between 300 and 400. Right now, at this very moment, and I know it sounds hard to believe, whether we are talking about the quality of the air we breathe, the water that we drink every single day, or the grains that we consume, if they are contaminated with harmful pesticides, or a variety of toxic chemicals that act like a poison in our bodies. If we find ourselves unable to fix even these most fundamental and basic necessities, then the future of this entire country, in challenging times like these, keeping ourselves healthy and safe is a fundamental responsibility that rests upon every single one of us. We certainly shouldn't leave this task solely to the government to handle. If someone else doesn't want to keep us healthy, or if the government doesn't want to keep us healthy, does that mean we should all just simply give up and perish? Do we not have the inherent and basic right to breathe and survive? Hello there, my dear friends, and welcome. Let's dive deep into a discussion about today's specific topic together. To be honest, today's subject is an incredibly beautiful and profound one. And because of that, I truly want you to make sure you definitely watch this entire video until the very end. You see, today's topic is very closely connected to some of the deep personal concerns and everyday challenges that we all tend to experience quite a lot throughout our various journeys in our lives. I am sharing this with you, friends. Today's topic is about parents' expectations and children's mental health regarding exams. Right now, children are going through their exam period. What will it be like, and how will children behave during exams? How will children behave, and what impact will exams have on our lives? My dear friends, today we are definitely going to discuss this relatively small but incredibly important topic together. Because, as you can clearly see for yourselves, the process of studying and writing are, of course, very important for our children's future. But the immense stress, constant worries, deep seated anxiety, and sometimes the heavy mental pressure that children experience specifically due to their exams, often we find that if any of the children out there would like to write down any of the questions they might have, please be sure to write them down in the comment section below, so that we can have a very comfortable and detailed discussion about all of those important topics. Now, my friends, regarding the specific topic we are covering today, first of all, I really want to say something important to all of those parents who many times find themselves thinking about this one particular issue. Study hard, become truly successful individuals, and ultimately go as far as possible in their lives. But we must ask ourselves, How much can we actually help our own child move forward in the right way, providing them with a healthy amount of pressure? Is it ever really appropriate to only create stress and anxiety? For a young child, is having an upcoming exam the only thing that matters? Or should we focus on their overall well being and long term development as they navigate these challenges? So, if they don't have exams, does that mean the child has no value or existence? Is this necessary? Is this appropriate? Today's parents, today's guardians really need to pay attention to this because the stress of a child's studies is not just about their coursework. The stress of studying is not only about their syllabus. Many times, with a changing environment, a changing atmosphere, there are many such situations. Consequently, that intense level of stress often becomes deeply embedded within your child's developing system, frequently persisting as a constant companion that remains with them throughout every single stage of their entire adult life, potentially affecting their overall well being, mental health, and physical resilience for many decades to come, long after the initial stressful events have passed into the distant memory of their early formative years. That deep seated stress, in many instances, remains firmly rooted within your child for the entirety of their whole life. It significantly affects not just the immediate exam period, but continues to exert influence from that specific point onward and persists until they eventually see themselves becoming a fully realized adult, becoming truly mature, and becoming completely independent. Those seemingly small things stay with them throughout every single stage of their life, shaping their future experiences and emotional well being in ways that are often difficult to fully measure or reverse as time goes on. A significant amount of focus and emphasis is consistently placed on children's academic studies, their overall upbringing, and their personal development. But the approach you take should always remain carefully balanced and thoughtful. Where the child needs a bit of your strict tone, perhaps a firm and strict tone, is indeed necessary there. But where they truly require your warmth and gentleness, you must provide that as well. My dear friends, I want to share that sometimes simply following one small, consistent rule can actually end up creating a truly huge miracle in your daily life. This is especially true when you consider how you go about building your lifelong relationship and that deep, soulful connection with your child. It is something that we definitely believe in and practice ourselves every single day. In today's times, friends, a child named Shantanu has written, "We spend our time studying and we spend our time writing. But the truth is, we often don't truly understand the depth of it." Shantanu, looking at the specific phase of studies you are in right now, I fully expect that this particular phase will continue for a few more years at least. It could very well be that you continue to study for the next 4, 5, 6, or perhaps even 10 more years of your life. If you are simply studying just to pass an exam, then that is a completely different situation altogether. If you are studying with the sole intention of just passing your exams, then whenever you take a look at any particular subject in any complex question or absolutely anything at all, your entire perspective will be deeply shaped by that narrow mindset. Or Shantanu and many other wonderful children just like you who are listening to me right now. If someone tells you about a very interesting and fascinating subject, or if someone happens to explain a new concept, interest, curiosity, the desire to know about anything. This creates a kind of focus within you, unanimity, a single path. Your eyes, ears, and mind, all three will be in one place, in one direction, if you truly want to learn. If you can write it down somewhere after writing it, if, after writing, you have no real connection with the entire subject, then the moment you learn just for the sake of numbers, your studies become merely a custom, a ritual. You study only so that you get marks. And as soon as you get those marks, you stop studying. You will. Friends, I often give career advice to many students, and many times when they ask me, "We are studying, but what will we do?" So I always tell them one thing. First of all, whatever specific steps and rigorous academic milestones are involved behind achieving that ultimate professional goal, if you say you truly want to become a dedicated scientist, and behind the long process of becoming a scientist, there are years of research, experimentation, and constant learning that define your daily life and future career path. They are two souls deeply intertwined in a romantic embrace, representing the very definition of what it means to be passionate lovers sharing a journey through life together. I want to become a truly exceptional chef. I want to become a highly skilled professional engineer. And I want to deeply experience the satisfaction and happiness I get from doing those small things. The very moment you decide on your life goals, every single step you take becomes deeply rewarding and interesting, my friends. So please don't study just because you want to get high marks. Instead, study because you know you are moving steadily towards a very bright and successful future. Show children a dream. Show them that future. Show them a vision towards which they will move forward so that tomorrow, along with themselves, they can do something great in the lives of thousands of other children like them. I am sharing with you about Kana, who came from a very humble background, and after coming very close, he worked very hard. While playing football, he became so good that he was selected for the international team. In India, where cricket is half of everything, cricket has a huge reputation, and after winning, there is a lot of money to be made. You just saw the 2020 World Cup, right? When India won, several hundred crores of rupees were given to the players as rewards. In the same way, football holds a very high status in other countries around the world. When that player from Ghana became a footballer, he became a big star player. He became a caller and a big star player. And when he scored many goals and got a great mentor, a lot of money came his way. But he never gave up his simplicity. Friends, he helped countless children like himself. Back then, there was a significant need to study the situation in Ghana. You see, there were absolutely no proper stadiums to be found anywhere here. Because of these conditions, out in the open fields, those who had the heart to play simply played. Depending on their natural ability, you would see, let's call it a goal, one child would eventually become the pride of the entire village. Another child would grow up to become a dedicated DM, and yet another would become a respected officer in the community. His entire future is transformed forever. And now, every single child living in that small, remote village begins to harbor a new hope and dream that perhaps one day they might also be able to become a DM, an SDM, or even successfully pass prestigious and difficult competitive exams such as the IAS or the PCS. When a single child from their community finally achieves such a monumental and inspiring goal, it opens up a world of endless possibilities for the next generation. I truly want to reach out and encourage you to significantly broaden your perspective and your overall vision for the future. We must all strive to instill in every single child a magnificent dream that possesses the incredible power not only to completely transform their own individual life, but also to positively impact the lives of many thousands of others around them. If today, even while you are living within the many difficult constraints and the heavy chains that you currently find yourself in at this moment, if you can't even imagine today, then you won't be able to fly, nor will you be able to break these chains. You will not be free. You will not be liberated. Friends, what is spirituality? This is what spirituality is. An ordinary person who thinks, I am filled with poverty, illness, helplessness, suffering, sorrow, and pain. To such a person, a great soul, a saint, tells him, you can do great things. One day you can be liberated. One day you can be free from birth, death, time, and the butcher. What a tremendous thing that is. If you don't even dream of it, how will you ever achieve it? If your children if your children do not dream that they can reach great heights in a single lifetime, then their efforts today will not succeed. Friends, let's take some more questions. Kavya Mishra asks, should we pressure our children to study or should we just leave them to their own devices? Let me tell you one thing. What children will do, their teachers explain to them very well if we take on the role of teachers. If we could do that, then we wouldn't need to send our children to school. But from nursery and kindergarten all the way to higher education, whether we want them to become doctors, engineers, lawyers, or anything else, even up to PhD or doctorate level, we send them to someone else. Those people know what to teach the children. That way, the child will learn. If we as parents had the ability to do this for our own child, to make them a lawyer, doctor, pilot, or astronaut, then we wouldn't send them to a teacher. As a parent, what can you do? You can provide the right environment. Friends, I mentioned a small point a few days ago that the job of a gardener is to As I mentioned, the gardener's job is to provide the right environment wherever he has sown seeds across his entire field. If the weather becomes far too cold, he carefully protects the delicate plants from the freezing chill. Similarly, if the afternoon sunlight is too harsh and intense, he diligently reduces their exposure to the burning rays. In a similar way, a child, by eventually becoming a dedicated lawyer, can profoundly change the lives of many different people in the community. You have the power to provide a supportive and nurturing environment for them to grow. What is environment? Vision. What can a child become when he grows up? A child, by becoming a lawyer, can change the lives of many people. He can bring about change if we as parents give our children that kind of upbringing, if we give them such a perspective, showing them what they are capable of, then they will figure out for themselves what they want to do. They will independently decide what path to adopt. Show them a dream for the future that they start to pursue, a dream that the child can hold on to. They should truly understand and fully grasp that magnificent dream. Yes, I am talking about the big, ambitious dream that my beloved parents want me to see. I have wholeheartedly embraced it. My dear friends, I want to add one more important thing here. When I say that you should show your children a beautiful dream, I don't mean to say that you should simply force a vision upon them without any consideration for their own passions or their unique individual desires. Along with yourself, how many more people can you pave the way for? Friends, let's take another question. Right now, Sahi Singh, hopefully I read the name correctly, asks, what should we do in our lives to achieve success? First of all, you need to decide success is different for every individual. For me, success is simply to sit in a good environment on a good day, take a deep breath, and remember God. For me, success is that if today were my last day, did I live my life well today? My definition of success may be different, while my neighbor's idea of success could be something else. Your parents might have a different idea of success as well. They want to see you become great, they want you to reach a very high position. Your idea of success could be something else entirely. First, decide what success means to you, friends. The greatest thing you can do in your life is to set your own goal. When Arjun focused on the I, as mentioned in the Mahabharata, during the era of the Mahabharata, Arjun saw only the eye of the fish. He didn't think about whether his parents could see the eye or not. He didn't ask whether his teacher could see the eye or not. He didn't ask whether his brothers or others could see the eye or not. It was Arjun alone who had to see the eye. If you want to achieve your goal in life, then focus on your goal. Then that truly represents your greatest success for today. If, when tomorrow comes, you find that you are able to feed a hungry person because you have become so capable and blessed, and if you possess 10 rupees and find the kindness in your heart to donate 5 of those rupees to someone in need, then you must realize that God has graciously given you that much abundance and strength. Then that truly represents your ultimate success. Even when you find yourself standing in the very midst of profound sorrow and overwhelming pain, and even when you are surrounded by the most daunting and complex difficulties that life can possibly throw your way, your ability to persevere and remain steadfast is what defines your character and your triumph over every obstacle you face. The expectations are yours from your children. That is why I have titled today's discussion as Parents' Expectations. The expectations of a parent are a huge burden on the child. If you expect your child to become this or that, and this expect if you can find a way to turn your high expectations for your child into genuine aspirations, and if you tell your child exactly what they should do in life, if you tell your child that whatever path they choose to follow, they must strive to truly excel at it. No matter what kind of work they do, it should be performed so exceptionally well that from that very effort, you truly have to approach everything you do with your whole heart and soul. Work that is done wholeheartedly and with passion brings a profound sense of joy and fulfillment to your daily life. And my dear friends, At the specific age we all are right now, at this important stage of being parents, whether you're in your 40s, your 50s, or even your 60s, absolutely no one knows better than you do that, as of today, in each of our individual lives. All the superficial glitter, the bright shine, and the immense grandeur that we often see in other people's lives. Seeing these things, we nurture a dream in our hearts that if we could have them, perhaps we would find happiness. But sometimes joy comes from a meal cooked by our mother's hands, sometimes from the love of a brother or sister, sometimes from a friend walking alongside us, and sometimes from solitude. My dear friends, please take the time to find the true meaning of your own life. We all feel that life has to be successful, but it must be your very own personal form of success, Anina. So I ask you, what is it that you truly want? What is it exactly that you are looking for? Veer, and whoever you truly are, Veer Rathor. There are going to be many, many such difficult exams, Veer, that will inevitably come into your life. Every single day, many times over, and throughout every passing year, there will be many more challenges just like this one. You must be prepared for them all. But at every single step of your journey, these challenges will inevitably come your way. And it is not always necessary that you will know every single answer to the questions that come up in these exams, my friend. In this life, there are so many different battles that will constantly arise. You see, in life, the exam always comes first, and only after that experience do you truly have the opportunity to learn the lesson from it. You study the whole year, and after studying all year, you are given questions from what you have studied. It's a different matter that we studied 10 questions, but there were 100 in the book, and the questions came from the 90 we didn't know, which is a brave person's question. But in life, the opposite happens. Friends, as you go along, you might suddenly stumble. An exam, a test will come your way. And when you get hurt, that's when you'll learn that it's important to watch where you're going. You need to avoid tripping over bricks, stones, or any obstacles in your path. Friends, you won't know every answer. You won't have the answer to every question, but the questions you can't answer will teach you how to live life. So, friends, there's just one thing I want to tell you. Don't get upset about whether you knew an answer or not. Let me make it clear to you all, there's no one in the world who has answered all 100 questions correctly. If your teachers at school are exceptionally kind and incredibly generous, they might actually give you the maximum possible score for every single one of the 100 individual questions on the exam. Otherwise, friends, if you attempt 10 questions, at least two are bound to go wrong. Do not worry so much. When we talk about these two minor failures, it is important to keep in mind that you have to learn for the sake of knowledge itself. So, my dear friends, let's take one more question because we have received quite a large number of them today. They say that their child is 8 years old, secretly uses the mobile phone, and is not at all serious about studying. Hello, my dear friends. Have you ever stopped to consider up to what specific age you should ideally teach your young child how to properly use a mobile phone? If by the time they reach the age of 7, you have already allowed your child to use the mobile phone extensively for playing games and general entertainment, then after that point in their development, you will find that you won't be able to easily separate them from the device ever again. This is just like first giving a child a habit, teaching them to eat sweets, giving them candy, introducing all kinds of flavors to their mouth, and then later complaining that the child is addicted to eating sweets. These days, I see parents who, whenever their child cries, refuses to eat, doesn't listen to them, screams, shouts, or causes trouble, simply hand over the phone to the child, saying, "Here, watch this." That child, in whose mind you have established the association that the mobile phone is a source of pleasure, knows that even though my parents want to take it away from me, if I cry, I will get it back. How will you be able to separate that child from the mobile phone when they grow up? There is one thing you can do. As a parent, you can change that association. You need to understand this. As parents, you need to know what else can be done besides playing on the mobile and what interesting things can be done. Can some books be read? Can some articles be read? What other interesting things are possible? If you teach all these things, your children will learn a lot from your own experiences. Friends, I want to share a very interesting incident with you here. Although it's quite a big story, there was a poor mother whose two children, after playing outside, would come home and turn on the TV. Back then, it was the era of television, and they would keep watching things on TV. The mother didn't know how to handle this, but then she got a job at a professor's place in a very large library. When the mother started working at the library, she asked the professor, "Have you read all these books?" The professor replied, "I have read about 90% of all the books in this entire library. I was very fond of reading." The mother was very surprised, so she asked the professor, "How can my children learn to read?" So the professor said, "Set a condition for your children that they must finish one book every week on any subject, any topic in the world: philosophy, psychology, economics, politics, any subject at all. Take any book, start with a small one, and instill in those children the habit of finishing one book per week." The mother started doing this. She gave the children a daily target at home. If they finished a book in one week, then the next week they would be allowed to watch TV for 1 hour. If they didn't do it, if they didn't finish the book in a week, then their TV would be off the next week and they would still have to read the book. So the mother followed this rule so strictly that when the child grew up and came out of poverty, he became a great brain surgeon. A brain surgeon, meaning the most dangerous and complex surgeries of the brain. The biggest and most renowned doctor in that field was that poor mother's child. Friends, what you teach your children makes a huge difference. If you want to scold, yell, shout, or hit your children, if you don't want to set any targets for them, if you don't want to give them any goals, if you don't want to give your child a goal and just want to scold them, "You're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing that wrong," just by scolding them like this, they'll never move in any direction. But if you give them a purpose for studying, give them two books and tell them that they have to finish one book in a week, and that should be your challenge to the child. Friends, let's take some more very beautiful questions. Today's topic is exams. Rambeti ji says that we should pay attention to the mental state of children. More than the children, it is the responsibility of the parents to determine how their children will live their lives. And I am happy that the parents who do this, definitely, there are many such parents who show their children a path in childhood. Not the path they themselves chose, but the one whose goal they have selected. It's not that you have to become an engineer. How you will become one is your responsibility. I will scold you every day. This is the path you have chosen for your goal. You haven't chosen the path. You've chosen to learn. Only if you learn will you get time for your enjoyment, for playing, for watching TV, for using your mobile. If you don't study, don't learn, then your mobile, your phone, your TV, and your other things, you won't get them. This result of something, your entertainment, is the result of your work. If you don't work, you won't get your result. You have to choose this path. It's not just about saying you'll become a doctor. How will you do it? We don't know. We'll just scold you every day. For parents to pay attention to their children, it's important that they focus on them. Friends, let's take one more question. A brother has written, what should be the simple and easy solution for children towards study? For parents, friends, for such parents, if you study a little bit from a book every day, the child will follow your instinct. Have you ever opened a book after leaving school? Any book at all? Friends, when I came abroad from India, I was surprised. Just yesterday, I was returning from somewhere and I saw that someone had opened a tea shop. When someone opened this tea shop, I want to show you a small picture of it. Imagine if this was actually possible, my friends. A person I know recently opened up a brand new tea shop and decided to put a variety of books in that tea shop. So I curiously asked him, "Why exactly did you do this?" He explained to me that it is a unique concept. The idea is that people can come here, relax, and read these books for free. My dear friends, please take a close look at this powerful picture, which clearly demonstrates how vital and transformative the habit of reading is for the local society here. Here, people decorate their tea shops all around with books on various subjects. You can come, have tea, pick up any book, read a couple of pages, and then put the book back. Friends, in a society, in a place where parents and people have a passion for reading, their children grow up to achieve great things through writing. After our education period, whenever our study time was over, we stopped opening books. And here, the Western world, which we often don't consider very good, we say there is a lot of nudity. People walk around naked, yet in that Western world, even after their school days are over, people do not break their connection with books. They do not sever their relationship with books. They do not stop reading books, nor do they forget how to read a book. Friends, we will have a separate live discussion on that topic some other day. Reading books is also a very interesting thing. Friends, if you want to read a book, then how should you read it? That too is a very interesting subject. And if I ever get the chance, I will definitely talk to you about it. If you want to give your child hope and enjoyment in studying so that they read and feel joy from it, then, friends, you must first develop that feeling within yourself. Pick up a book, my friend. My dear friends, I suggest you start by reading a small, simple book, really any book at all, and discover that deep sense of joy, which can then be beautifully translated to your own children. Friends, today there are many children among us. I know it's exam time, a period full of stress. I just want to tell you one thing. Do not worry. This exam is not going to be your last exam in life, and the outcome of this exam will not determine your entire life. What have you become? How have you refined yourself? How have you improved yourself? That is all we should think about. It's about what you are. Are you a learner? Are you someone who has a desire to learn? Or are you result oriented, only concerned with your outcomes? Friends, those who only care about results, no matter how it happens, I just want to pass, whether it's by cheating, bribing, copying, or any other way, if you are studying just to pass, then the beautiful flowers of life will not bloom for you and you will not experience much joy in your life because you just want to bypass this learning phase. You want to remove this entire period of studying from your life. You want it to just go away. You just want to reach that time where you can enjoy yourself lying back comfortably like Vishnu having a good time. But it's the learning that gives you joy. In a country where Saraswati is worshipped, Lakshmi comes to those people as well. And where people worship only Lakshmi, they end up becoming fools, having to ride the owl. So, friends, become devotees of Saraswati, children worship Saraswati. And by worship, I mean develop a keenness to learn, cultivate a habit of studying every day. It's exam period. What I want to tell you is that this won't be your last exam. So take the exam you're about to give with great happiness, and whatever the result may be, it will lead you to greater beauty in life, to even better dimensions. Don't worry about it. Find yourself a very joyful moment, especially for those children who find themselves under a lot of stress. Be happy, you have done your best, and whatever the result may be like Krishna said, focus only on your actions, not the outcome. If your actions are good, the results will be good too. If you have developed an interest in studying, that interest will show its effect in your life. And if you haven't developed that interest, if you have kept running away from studying, you want to do only cheating, and that's what's on your mind. Just thinking about how to pass by copying, bribing, paying money, doing this or that, it's going to be very difficult, friends. Let's take 12 more questions. Suman says that children shouldn't be taught just for the sake of numbers, marks. It's important to become a good person for society. We can only provide them with the right environment. I'd like to add a small point here for society as well. Yes, and for people too. But most importantly, start living for yourself, start living with yourself, friends. Recently, I saw a very beautiful survey. Many people, in fact, most people in India, are such that they can't spend time with themselves. They feel very afraid when they're alone. And this survey said that you always need someone to give meaning to your life. Either you need a family, or you want to get married and start a family, or you want to be part of some group. You want others to make you laugh, others to make you happy, or for society to appreciate your work, or for people to tell you, yes, you did a great job. That's the way how India works today. In many major countries outside of India, young people are given a different perspective. Even if you are alone in a desert, you should love your own company. You should just be happy with the fact that even if I am alone, so what? I am with myself. I enjoy this. I am happy about the fact that I am with myself. The person, whether a girl or a boy, from whichever country, society, or family, When that person starts living to connect with their own happiness, starts being happy for themselves, then for them, learning becomes a source of joy and knowledge. So, friends, study in such a way that you should feel joy from it. You should be feeling proud of yourself, friends. Let's take 12 more questions. A lot of people tell me I have my NCC certification exam coming up and I've been working hard to prepare for it. But I'm honestly feeling incredibly nervous and anxious about the whole thing. Abhishek, I want to tell you one thing. All the students who are currently afraid because of the pressure of studying for exams, then this is a very helpful sector. This fear is a very beautiful, decisive moment in your life that keeps you subtle, keeps you balanced. If you don't feel fear, if you become overconfident, thinking, I know everything, I don't need to look at anything, you go into the exam, and because of your overconfidence, you end up making a mess of things. If you've never studied and you're just thinking that you won't be able to pass and you're living in constant worry, that's not good either. And there's one good thing, friends, one, for an unknown situation, for entering an unfamiliar place, suddenly you will enter an exam room, a space you know nothing about, and the fear of stepping into that unknown space. This is actually a very significant and very positive thing. Never take it in a negative way. This is a very good thing, and always pay attention to how well you are able to represent yourself. How much attention do you give to your work? Act, don't just react. The better you work on something, the more happiness you will find in it. Friends, let's take 12 more questions. How to make children feel personal amid the hustle and bustle of life. Friends, with all the running around in life, there is so much competition. Everyone is trying to outdo each other. We should not let our children become a part of that rat race. What did the neighbor's child say? The neighbor, Mr. Sharma's children are doing so well. They became doctors. They did this, they did that. If, as parents, we create an environment in front of our child where we want to show that their efforts, attempts, and hard work mean nothing to us, that we only like Mr. Sharma's children or Mr. Verma's children or other people's children who are moving ahead, who have topped who have topped in IIT, who have topped in other things, if you create a very insecure environment for your children, if you yourself become a part of this competition driven mindset, then there is no safe space for your children in the house. Your home will no longer be a place of security for them. You, as a parent, as someone who listens as a parent, need to understand that your children's journey is different. You want to see them succeed. That's a good thing, but along with success, you should want to see them happy too. Let them be happy with their process and awaken the right dreams in them for that process. This should be a very beautiful thing for you. So, friends, find that very amazing spark so that your children can grow very nicely in this world. Friends, let's take 12 more questions. Although it's exam time today, I want us to create a safe environment for our children. An exam will never determine any child's future. I remember when I was in school and reached high school, everyone started saying this: high school is the best thing, the best marks in high school, the best marks in high school. What? Do you feel this? How much stress we create for children, that if they don't come first in high school, if they don't get the top rank, if they don't score above 90, what kind of stress we end up creating? Then, when that same child clears high school, we do the same things all over again for 12th grade. When they clear 12th grade, then for bachelor's, whether they do BA, BC work or do something else, the same thing happens there too. Then in tech, in PhD, in life, someone else gets more money. You didn't get it. Friends, at some point, we will have to end this race. The meaning of life is not about how far ahead you have gone compared to others. The meaning of life is not about how much faster you have run than your neighbor. If we don't understand this ourselves, we won't be able to understand spirituality. Nothing will happen just by performing rituals. Nothing will happen just by chanting God's name repeatedly. These are just paths to hell. Find spirituality in your actions. Are you able to behave with contentment for yourself, for your children? Are your children learning contentment, being satisfied, being happy, being joyful, whatever the exam is? After you've done whatever you could, just stay happy, because the exam will turn out however it does, good or bad. Whatever the result may be, that result will come tomorrow. The path that opens up for you will be a different journey for you. And you will have to walk that unique path. You won't be able to change it. You cannot change that journey. Neither has anyone changed it before today, nor did your ancestors before you change it. And if you look at the thousands of ancestors before today, if we try to remember them, we don't even know for what reason we remember whom. Friends, someone once told me a small thing. If you are asked why you remember your grandfather, let alone your grandfather, you'd be surprised. There are many families who don't even know what their great grandfather did. Very few people, maybe 10 out of 100, or even among 10, maybe just one or half a person, would remember any good moments from the lifetime deeds of a family member from one generation further back. At the same time, I recently read something quite astonishing and I want to share it with you. The young prince Siddhartha, who later became Lord Buddha, was the son of a powerful king. When he was about to leave, when he was preparing to give up everything he owned, and such serious discussions began, his devoted father, the king, tried incredibly hard to persuade him to stay. His father said, "The kind of splendor, the extraordinary life that people might strive for over many lifetimes and still never attain a king's life like this. You already have it, and yet you want to leave it all behind. What will you gain? You are a king. What will you gain? You will lose everything. Where do you want to go?" When Buddha left all of it behind and went away, even today, if we remember Buddha's father, Shuddhodana, it is because of Buddha, because his son set out in search of a path to find true joy in his life. How many people do we actually remember who simply worked jobs or did ordinary work? But we remember those people who made their own path, who forged their own way, truly. It is our duty, friends, to teach our children to live joyfully, to guide them towards doing good deeds in their lives, to show them the right path. We should cultivate a simple virtue, not push them towards competition. Friends, slowly we are reaching the final stage of this live session. I hope you enjoyed today's live session by Avesh. I hope you liked the discussions in today's live session. There are some controversial things I know and some things that many people may not agree with. But, friends, if you look at your whole life, you will realize that after a certain age, children drift away from their parents. This is because they remember the strictness of their parents, the strictness that caused them to lose those moments in their lives. There is only a race to achieve something. People do achieve things, but what will you really gain? So, friends, do let me know how you found today's live session, today's discussions. Did you feel motivated by these talks? Did you find a path to hard work? If you find something interesting, if you find something energetic, please share it with us. All of us who are part of this society have a responsibility towards each other in some way, and there are many people who are fulfilling this responsibility. There are many people who are imposing their responsibilities onto others. Work hard yourself, that's very good, but don't put someone under pressure so that they can't live their life properly. Friends, with one last question, we will conclude today's live session. Arvi has written a question. Is it right to enter marriage just to fulfill family's expectations, even when the heart does not feel aligned? The idea of marriage and raising is a very beautiful question, friends, and I want to give you a very clear answer. Entering into a marriage means that you are truly ready to live the rest of your life with someone special. It signifies that you are fully prepared to take on responsibility for another person, ready to share every part of your life with them, ready to laugh and talk together through the days, and ready to bear that person's deepest sorrows. Every single thing that you will eventually share with someone throughout your entire life. Absolutely all of those things. Now, these things hold great importance in your life. If none of these reasons are why you are getting married, then often marriage becomes a way to fulfill the needs of many people in society. In India, why do people get married? So that the family line continues, so that they can have children. Parents want to play with their children, they need a toy. To pass the time when those children grow up, they get them married. After getting married, then they want another toy. It seems like the whole society just wants to play. You just want to play in life, but you don't want to fulfill the responsibilities that come with it. You don't want to separate yourself from those responsibilities. Friends, don't get me wrong, even India's caste system says that there are four ashrams, stages of life. The first ashram is brahmacharya, where you focus on your studies. Study not for pleasure, but for knowledge. After the age of 25, step into the householder stage. Householder means when you are ready to take on responsibilities, you and your partner, whoever your spouse may be, are prepared to share life together, to be together in both happiness and sorrow. Friends, when you attend a wedding, listen carefully to the mantras recited by the priest. They contain very profound messages. I have heard these things many times. If you truly start believing in those things, you might want to separate immediately after getting married, because you realize that your very first and most important responsibility is towards your life partner, whether that is your husband or your wife. Even parents, once their children have grown up and are of marriageable age, after that, parents should also start focusing on their own lives. The whole world does this. But in India, parents consider their children as their life insurance policy, meaning what will happen to their lives after a certain age. Whereas our Varna system says when you turn 50 years old, if I am a parent and I have turned 50, then I should now set out on the path of vanaprastha, retirement from household life. I should go out and explore what the purpose of my life is. I shouldn't stay at home once I am 50 years old. My child is now 25 or 30 years old. He is married. Once my child is married, I am going out to explore, to understand myself, and to know life. What is the truth of life? I have nothing more to do with household life. I have finished all my duties. Now, my children will take care of their own responsibilities, raise their own children, manage their own households, and I have moved on. Anywhere I go, I want to know all of India, the whole world, everything. And then comes renunciation. Find the answer in your God. You come to know God, connect with the divine, and discover Him. Now you spend your life in the bliss of that realization. Here, there is no talk of rituals, worship, or religious beliefs. What a beautiful message has been conveyed. So, friends, I believe you must have found some answers. I wish that all of you who are going through this phase right now, prepare yourselves and let us all become each other's strength. Let us not become a burden on one another. And as a parent, I want to say this to you very clearly. It is very important to connect with God. When your children grow up, become of marriageable age, and get married, then you should move on and seek God. If you stay at home, you will want to repeat what you have already achieved. And once again, desires and greed will arise in your mind. What kind of desires? Now you will want to indulge in your children's children, but you should step out and embark on your own quest. One must live life in a divine, godlike way. If you do not do this, you will keep expecting from your children in their lives, and that will become very painful. So, friends, that's all for today. Thank you very much. I hope today's session has given you something to learn. Be sure to check out the show on YouTube and Instagram. Share a screenshot of today's session, tell others about it, and give people a chance to connect with life so that they too can ask their questions. And through this dialogue, these discussions, we can all move forward in our lives. Thank you very much. Friends, I really enjoyed being with you in today's discussion, and I hope you felt the same way. If that's the case, do let us know. That's all for today's session, friends. We'll meet again soon. If you want to connect with us on any of our social platforms, you'll find all the information on the screen. If you take a photo with your phone or by any other means and scan this barcode, you can also connect with our other channel. If you want to watch today's live session or any of our video clarity platforms elsewhere, you can do so there as well. So, friends, thank you very much. I hope today's live session has given you some courage and an opportunity to learn something new in life. With that, friends, I take your leave for today. We will meet again soon on another day with more discussions. Wish you a life like a king, like a queen, and live this life to the fullest. Life should be big, not long. Live every day as if it were your last. Now you will have a wonderful meaning of life. Friends, spending these moments with all of you in this beautiful weather has been very special and truly delightful. I hope you feel the same way. And whenever we get another chance, we will meet again. Thank you. And until then, good night. H.